through. Melanated family. Today, this ain't the regular show. This is going to be something that we do on a more of a routine basis. But today, we talking about my damn check. Huh? Today, we talking reparations with my brother, Chris Lodgson, who is a part of an organization who has seen this thing through. I've been knowing this brother for a while, y'all, and people would tell me that we would never get reparations, that it would never happen. Ha ha! That money coming, baby. It's just a process now. It's just a formality now, just a process. But all jokes aside, my brother Chris has been feet to the ground, meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting, right? Chris, you know what I mean?
Hell
so my
yeah.
brother has been in that. So we got Chris on the show today, and we're going to have him on here once a month till they give me my goddamn check, so he can update us on where we are with the reparations movement, how we can help as individuals, and just to have a conversation about it. Because I've even seen some Black people say, we don't need nothing for the government. And I said, what? What country you live in? The government hands out goodies. You didn't know? Everybody gets taken care of. It's our turn. So on the show today, I have my brother, Chris Lodgson. Chris, what's up, brother?
Peace. What's up, my brother? Blessing to be here. Thank you, as always, for your work, for your platform. Big shout out to the audience, everybody that's watching right now, everybody that's going to tune in live or after the live. Appreciate y'all. I am excited to be here. I can't wait to talk about reparations. I am looking forward to doing, as you say, a regular check-in, a regular update with the family about reparations. So yeah, let's get right into it.
Definitely. So talk to everybody about, if they've been living under a rock and aren't aware, talk to us about what has happened recently in California as far as reparations is concerned.
Yeah. So if you don't know, you about to know. First of all, California is the first state in the nation to create a reparations commission. California in 2020, the governor signed a law that created the first in the nation, first in the country reparations commission. The job of the commission is to investigate reparations, educate the public about reparations, and then actually create reparations proposals here for Black folks who descend from U.S. slavery in the state of California. The commission started its work in June of 2021. There's 9 members on the California Reparations Commission, and the commission is holding public meetings pretty much on a monthly, every other monthly basis. And the meetings are open to the public. The commission is also holding community listening sessions through local organizations, one of which is the organization that I help lead called the Coalition for Just and Equitable California, which is a grassroots California-based coalition of organizations here in the Sacramento area, the Bay Area, Inland Empire, Southern California, LA, San Diego, et cetera, et cetera. We work for reparations and reparative justice in the state of California, and we're one of the 6 so-called community anchor organizations that the California Reparations Commission selected to do community outreach for Black people, for reparations here in the state of California. So in a nutshell, California will be the first state to actually do reparations for Black folks. And then the federal government is going to be next.
Ain't that something? And, you know, I've been watching this brother for a while, y'all. Like, he be in the Bay Area. They be in Southern, just talking about putting their feet to the ground to see this thing through. So, Chris, like, how long have y'all been at this? Like, how long the process has it been?
So I'm about to take you back, bro, because we actually was a part of the team and part of the people that actually helped get the law written that created the Reparations Commission back in 2019 and 2020. A bunch of folks, just regular Black folks, regular Black people, nothing special. We don't got no special political experience. We don't got no special. We didn't go to school for this, nothing like that. We just regular Black folks here in the state of California who said, yo, we want to do something for reparations. So back in 2019, we started talking to local politicians and local legislators and government people, state government people about reparations. And we found out that the state government, the state of California, was going to do a reparations bill. And so we started working with the people who was writing the reparations bill. It was then Assembly member Dr. Shirley Weber, who is now California Secretary of State, Shirley Weber. She was working back in 2019 and into early 2020 on a reparations bill. So we clicked up with her team, started talking to her team, started helping to write the language for the legislation, along with a lot of other great people who was also working on that. Big shout out to folks like Maureen Simmons, who was actually working to write the legislation. Also, big shout out to my brother who works in our LA team, my brother Marcus Champion, who helped write the legislation, helped get the legislation rewritten. Obviously, big shout out to Assembly member, or then Assembly member, now Secretary of State, Shirley Weber, who is the first author, the primary author, the main author of the law that created the Reparations Commission. And this is back in 2019, 2020, we was working on this. So the state accepted the law, actually passed the law in 2020, and we've been working since then, a little bit before then, but basically since then, to make reparations a real thing. And like I said, the law was passed in 2020 that created the California Reparations Commission, but the commission didn't start working until June of 2021. So there was like a little bit of a 6, 9, 10-month period between when the law got passed in late 2020 and the summer of 2021, June 2021, when the actual 9-member commission started its work. In that time, the state had to pick the commission members. We helped actually recommend people for the commission. We was working to find people who we thought might be good people. And actually the chair of the Reparations Commission right now, who is a brilliant, amazing sister, 30-year-old Black millennial sister named Camilla Moore, Chair Moore. She's also an attorney. She's a reparatory justice scholar. She went to school for reparations. She's helped do reparations in other parts of the globe. She came back here to California. She's from South LA. And she was actually somebody who we worked with before she got chosen to the Reparations Commission. She was somebody who we recommended because she was working with us on the ground. And so it was during that time between September of 2020 and June of 2021 that we was helping recommend people like Camilla Moore to get on the actual Reparations Commission. So we helped write the law. We helped get people chosen for the commission after the law got passed. Since June 2021, as you were just saying, we've been all over the state. First of all, we're going to be in Oakland this Saturday, by the way. So I got to make sure I say that. Oakland, California Ballroom, Saturday, May 28th, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. We got a reparations listening session going on, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. We're going to have a couple of Reparations Commission members in the building. So make sure you come out. It's a public event. It's a free event. You don't got to register. We got a registration page, but you don't have to register. Pull up, be there, come talk to the Reparations Commission members yourself. But we've been all around the state, Oakland. We going to LA in June on Juneteenth. Actually, Juneteenth weekend, we're going to be in LA June 18th and June 19th. We was in Marin City in April. Shout out to Paul Walker. We was in Richmond in February. We was back in LA in December, Oakland twice last year, September, October, Sacramento. We just did one in Sacramento too, by the way, a couple of weeks back in Oak Park. Shout out to the Shakur Center. So since January 2021, we've been going around the state, making sure Black folks know what's going on, making sure Black folks can be a part of the process, because it ain't going to work if you ain't a part of the process. If I ain't a part of the process, it ain't going to work. So that's what we've been doing.
And I'm going to talk to you about that in a minute before we go, like what all of us can do to help.
Yep.
But, man, I was reading an article one day, right? And it was talking about the Reparation Task Force, and I knew it was real. I got something started happening in my body when I said they're going to base it on lineage. I said, uh-oh.
Yep.
Uh-oh, I'm getting my money. So, just all jokes aside, why do you think that part was so important?
Oh, man.
Why do you think that part was so important, Chris?
That was huge. That was a generational thing that happened. This happened in March, actually. So as I mentioned, the Reparations Commission is holding hearings. It holds public hearings by law. By the law that created the commission has to hold at least 10 public hearings in person And one of the 10 public hearings happened in March of this year, last March. In that March meeting, the commission had to decide who is going to be eligible for reparations. That's an important question because it's going to be hard to figure out how much it's going to cost, what it's going to be if you're not clear about who is eligible for reparations. And so the question in March was, as you just said, should it be based on your lineage? Meaning, should you actually be somebody who comes from the Black folks who built this country right here? The Black folks who didn't come here by choice, but came here by chains or came here under the bottom of a ship, or was bred from the people who came here under the bottom of a ship and actually worked for free for hundreds of years and was free with nothing, if you could call it free, and had to go through the Jim Crow and all of the stuff that's going on now. Should you actually be one of those Black people, or should you just be somebody who just could call themselves Black, and it would be not lineage but race based? And so the question was, should it be that or that, lineage based or race based? And that was a decision that the commission had to make in March. That was a huge decision. The commission ultimately at the end said, we got to make this lineage based for a few different very important reasons. One, it just makes sense. It's just the right thing to do. The people who was promised 40 acres and a mule, we they kids. We they kids.
And look,
those are people. So we was promised reparations. So that's that. So it just makes sense. The other thing is, and this is something that I think I want to hear more people talk about. So there was a legal question, because in California, technically speaking, you can't do no laws, spend no money based on or for a specific racial group of people. Technically speaking, in the California law and the California Constitution, right now it's technically illegal, unconstitutional to say, I'm going to spend state money on Black people. I'm going to spend state money on white people. I'm going to spend state money specifically on AAPI people. It's technically unconstitutional, technically illegal to do that here in the state of California, and also at the federal government. Now I know, and I'm like y'all, well, why all these other groups seem to get their specific piece? Like, why is that? That's absolutely true, and there are different answers to that. But technically speaking, right now it's unconstitutional, illegal, not doable to make a specific thing, a specific money for a particular race of people in the state of California. So if the commission would have said all you had to do was just say you Black, by the way, there's all kind of problems with that anyway, because anybody could say they Black. Black is a
whole bunch of $5 African Americans.
That would be the Rachel Dolezal reparations. We don't right. That's a problem. That's a problem. Right, that's a huge about a big shout to OG Mods. Let's talk money. When you come to San Jose, we coming to San Jose. By the way, if you can pull up, I know San Jose is close-ish to Oakland. If you can pull up, come through this Saturday in Oakland. By the way, we're gonna be in Vallejo too later on that same day on Saturday, also Saturday, May 28th. But Mods, we coming to San Jose very, very soon. If you want more information, I'll share the website soon. But that was the question in March: lineage versus race based. And the commission said you got to be one of the Black folks who are from the Black folks who built this country. And that was a huge decision. And it was the right decision to make for, again, the common sense and also for the legal reasons too.
Yes. And everybody listening, keep in mind, if you ever been to a casino and you may ask, who's the owner? Let me speak to the top manager, like the guy who's in charge here. You may see a white man that looks like Brad Pitt come out and say, yeah, I want this. You say, what? Yeah. There was a such thing called a Dawes Rolls where white people were able to get on the Dawes Rolls and pay $5 to say they were Indian. That's what I was scared of with our movement. So when I seen y'all do that, I say, okay, they serious. They
Yeah.
set this thing off.
Yeah, we fought hard, bro. And one more thing on it, because this is probably the most important decision that the commission made in its first year of work. By the way, the commission, by law, not only does it have to hold 10 public meetings, it has 2 years to do its job. So it has 2 years from the day that it first started meeting to do all of its work. So 2 years from June 1st of 2021. So by June 1st of 2023, the commission has to be done for the work that is doing. In the first year of the commission's work, it has to spend the first year gathering evidence, hearing testimony from the public, hearing testimony from expert witnesses, building the case for why reparations is actually needed, bringing all that information into one place, into one thing, and then putting all that out in a first report, which is due by the end of its first year, which is going to be June of this year.
Got it.
In the first year of its work, though, this decision on who is eligible for reparations is the most important decision that it made, because you can't really do nothing else if you don't decide who you talking about.
Yep, definitely. And so something else I want to touch on really quickly, because I'm a little torn. Like, I know immigrants, whether it be from the motherland or from the Caribbean, who, since they've been here, been putting in work. Like, they've been pushing for whatever our movement is. They right there with us. So I had a couple of my immigrant brothers like, wait a minute, Harrison, I see your post, I see your broadcast, but bro, my dad came here in the 30s. He came here, he been working hard. He should get some money too. I said, slow down, homie.
Slow down.
Real quick, because we still brothers. But this money is specifically for descendants of slaves. I gotta tell people, we all mad at a particular white man. Our white man is here in the United States. Yours may be Germany or whoever
Britain,
your country has
France.
a problem with.
Right.
We can go after them later. So what's your take on the immigrant piece of the reparations?
Yeah, it's pretty simple, and it's a lot what you said. We know we got brothers and sisters who voluntarily chose to come to this country from a black country, whether it be on the continent, whether it be in the islands, whether it be from South America, wherever it is. We know we got brothers and sisters who voluntarily chose to come here. A lot of those people are riders. A lot of those people are people we interact with, we do business with, we work with. We are a specific group of people, though. Black folks who descend from U.S. slavery. Let's get that straight first. We are our own people first. We are our own people. And we, as our own people, are very special because we the ones who worked in plantations. We the ones who was in them fields. We the ones who didn't get paid for none of that work. We the ones who was promised the 40 acres and a mule and then had it taken away from us. We the ones who went through the KKK and everything that came after that, and the Jim Crow, and I mean, you already know. So we are our own specific group of people. We have a specific debt. We have a specific claim. We have a specific debt. We got a specific beef with a specific thing. That's called the U.S. government. The government, the country that we built, by the way. That's the first thing. The second thing is, my brothers and sisters from another continent, country, maybe you do have a claim for reparations. It ain't this claim, though. It may be, as you say, for a claim for a different country, France, Germany, England, Britain, Portugal, whatever it is. I support you. I want you to win that fight. I might even ride and fight for you to get yours, but I don't deserve none of it. It's all yours, and I don't want none of it. Same thing I expect here. This is ours. This is specifically for us. I expect, if you really look, if you're gonna ride for me, you're gonna ride for me. If you really my friend, you're gonna fight for me, whether or not you get some of the money or not. That's what a real friend is. So I'm looking for the real friends. I'm looking for the real what you call allies. If you really a friend of us in this country that we built, by the way, and I'm gonna say one more point about this too. We opened the door for Black folks to come to this country who was not of us. Let's keep it real. Before 1965, 1970, the amount of Black immigration, meaning Black folks who said, which country do I want to go to? Let me go to the United States. The amount of Black folks who chose to come to this country was less than 1% of Black people. I'm gonna say that again. Before 1965, something called the Immigration Act of 1965. Before that, white folks wasn't letting no Black folks in this country. It makes sense, right? Why would a country that hate Black folks let Black people from outside come in?
Mm-hmm.
Literally, 99% of the Black folks in this country before 1965, 1970, really into the 1980s, was us, meaning you came from one of the plantations in the South. You came from one of the plantations somewhere in this country.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all may have a claim, y'all got to fight. Cool. We brothers and sisters still, but this is specifically for us. And we not sorry about that. We are unapologetic about that. And we know that if you really are friends like that, you're gonna ride for us no matter what.
And that's real talk, bro. And
Right.
And it's a difficult conversation because I'm like, we have so many problems outside of our community. I don't like to see the infighting, but you made a good point, Chris. If you really for me, if you really can read a book and know anything about this United States we live in, you know goddamn well we deserve our money.
Right.
Then we can get to whatever. Because like I said, it's just a different white man who owe you. Yeah, you got to come over to in Haiti. I get it.
Right. I get it. And I'm not gonna get. It's never a point where I'm gonna go to Haiti and say I need reparations from the French. Never. I don't deserve none of that. My Haitian brothers and sisters deserve all of that. I will fight for them to get theirs from Haiti, but I'm not gonna get none of it at all. And let's also say this too. And by the way, OG Mars, let's definitely connect. And big shout out to everybody in the chat. Big shout out to everybody watching live. Big shout out to everybody that's going to watch the replay. Also, thank y'all for being here. This is one of the most important things moving for Black folks right now. I said this on Saturday. I saw the brother Harrison at a Malcolm X festival in North Sacramento. I said this on the mic when I was talking to the crowd out there. We are closer to reparations than we've ever been since the Civil War. That's not BS. I want you to hear that again. We as Black people are closer to reparations than we've been since the Civil War. That's since the 1890s or something like that. And every single one of us is special because we are going to be alive, God willing, when we receive reparations. We're going to be one of the first generations of Black folks. You watching right now, me and you, we're going to be among the first Black folks to receive reparations. It's going to be here in the state of California first. We're going to do that first, and then we're going to work for the rest of the country to do the same thing. It's special. But I want to say one last thing on our brothers and sisters, because this is healthy for us as a community, though. It's healthy for us. Black folks who descend from U.S. slavery in this country, we've been erased. We don't have our own identity as a people. We just call something called Black or something called African American. There ain't Black or African American. Could be anybody who claimed Black or African American. You don't have to be from the Black folks who built this country to call yourself Black African American. That means the Black folks who built this country don't have a specific identity. This is a fact. Everywhere anybody hearing me talk at right now, you cannot go to any city in California, any county in California, or the state, or anywhere else and say, tell me how many Black folks who built this country live here in this city, in this state. They cannot tell you that. We don't even collect information on that. That's going to change because part of my other work here in the state has been working on what we call data disaggregation. So meaning taking Black folks' data and making the state break it down to say, all right, we need to know specifically about the Black folks who built this country. So no more can you use this just general Black or African American thing. Tell me about the Black folks who specifically built this country. That is actually going to start happening here in California probably next year, because we've been working with some people in the state assembly, state senate, and then the governor just recently. Y'all been seeing some stuff about how California got this big budget. This right now, May and June are budget season. So May and June is money season for California. I want to talk about this later when we talk about how much reparations are going to cost. But California right now has what they call a budget surplus. We got $100 billion extra money, meaning after we paid all of our bills, get this, we got an extra $100 billion.
That's mine.
That's crazy.
Mine, right? That's mine, dog.
Right? It's mine, right? It's yours. And we got people on the streets.
Mm-hmm.
We got people on the streets.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll come back to that point. But the point here is in the governor's budget, we've been working over the past actually year and a half. We've been working with the people in the state assembly and with the governor's office to get the governor to agree to finally start taking our Black African American information and actually saying, all right, let's break that down. Let's disaggregate that. Let's have a category called African Blacks. Let's have a category called Caribbean Blacks. And let's finally have a category specifically for the Black folks who built this country. Last point is, and let's take it right back to the top of your question, the Black folks in the islands, so Jamaica, Trinidad, Barbados, Guyana, et cetera, they have something called CARICOM. CARICOM is a group of Caribbean island nations who are fighting for reparations. They're fighting for reparations from the Queen of England, England, and whoever else was in charge of enslaving them. I'm not included in CARICOM. That's fine, and that's okay. I don't deserve no reparations from England, or at least for the slavery in the islands. We could talk about what we might be owed here as Black folks who descend from U.S. slavery from other countries. That's a separate question. But I don't deserve no reparations from Britain as a part of what the CARICOM countries are doing. I don't deserve no reparations from Haiti. I deserve reparations from the United States government. Same goes for our brothers and sisters. And these are our brothers and sisters. Look, we do business with these folks. We see these folks every day. Some of us got, married to, folks from the continent too, right? I mean, like we got our, so I come from New York anyway. I think you already know that. New York got the highest like Black immigrant population almost like in the country. I lived in Brooklyn for, most of my growing up life. The fact like our communities are all like mixed in, but we still know that we different Black folks. We all Black folks, but we different kinds of Black folks, and we can ride together when we need to ride together. And when it's time to get those political tangibles, we know we got to go get them specifically for us.
And we got to get that bread, because look, I tell people all the time, Chris,
right,
everybody didn't got their check. Jews got their checks. Asians, the Holocaust, all this stuff. When they was in, they treated these Asian people horribly. They gave them their money. The Indians, they was slacking and they macking a little bit, but they got their money and they got
and they still getting
casinos, beautiful casinos all over the goddamn United States where it's my check. Because some people tell me, white dude told me, Harrison, if we give you money, you guys just gonna give it back? I don't give a fuck about none of that.
That ain't none of your business.
Ain't none of your business. I don't care if I want to buy 1,000 pair of Jordans. God damn it!
It ain't nobody business. And to be honest with you, we know. Listen, I can't wait. I'm gonna be. Listen, look what we do with the little we have already.
Come on now.
So imagine what we gonna do when we get what we already owed.
give me my check. I'm
Right.
gonna change the world. I know some
Right.
people don't give it back. So what?
Right. And
So what?
it ain't. See, they don't micromanage the other groups of money like that. They didn't ask the Japanese folks, well, what y'all gonna do with it first?
Yeah.
They don't ask the you know, Jewish folks, well, what y'all going, well, we might not want to give you your money because y'all might spend it on. Nah, it's only for us. Do they try to say, all right, well, we going, well, or here's another thing that we hear. By the way, big shout out to Daniel, Foundation of Black American. That's definitely a term that definitely is talking about the same people that we are talking about. Some people have different labels for it. Some people say Foundation of Black American. You might hear more of the term now, American Freedmen. Same thing. We're talking about the same people. It's those of us who are emancipated, and those of us Black folks who built this country. Same thing. But here's another thing you hear. Well, let's give you something other than money. You know, because we don't know what you'll do with the money. So let's do something. Or you hear, and some people who say this don't mean bad, but some people who say this do. Some people say, well, it ain't just a check. Okay. But if it don't have the check in it, it ain't reparations. So, and I'm of the opinion that most of it has to be financial. Most of it has to be money. Most of it has to be income and wealth. Most of it, 50% or more. And give us, obviously, we need protections too. We need protections too, for sure, because we see what happened to the family in Buffalo. Rest in peace.
Yes.
Condolences. We seen what happened to the family in Buffalo. We need protections too. Absolutely. I'm a big supporter of an anti-Black hate crime bill. That should have been done in the last that should have been done last week. I'm a big proponent of that. We need protections too. Also, though, having your own money, having big money, big wealth allows you to protect yourself.
Yes. And let's not get it fucked up, everybody. The white people who live that white immigrants, because everybody's immigrants, okay? Let's stop the bullshit. We were here, everybody's immigrants. The GI Bill was reparations for white men. The GI Bill, they was able to get 4.3 million something Caucasian men was able to get low interest rates. They was able to get schooling.
They kids. I know white kids right now who getting money from the GI Bill, who got school loans, car loans, home loans. But keep it real. There was a GI Bill before there was a GI Bill. The New Deal. We talk about the New Deal that happened in the 20s and 30s. That was a racist Jim Crow New Deal. That was specifically for white folks only. The only way they could make that happen was to exclude Black folks. Let's take it back to the Homestead Act. Remember that was when white folks was getting. So they promised us 40 acres and a mule, took it away, actually gave reparations to the white folks, actually gave the land back to the white folks that sold us. This is a fact. They promised us 40 acres, took it back, then gave the Confederates their land back and paid them off if they didn't get and paid them for every one of their property they lost. So this whole pull yourself up by your bootstrap argument is full of shit. Nobody did it. Nobody did it. Nobody. And they used us as the boots. Right. So, and so people sometimes say, all right, well, y'all starting the race later. Nah, we're not starting the race. We was the boots and the sneakers and the laces that people use to run their race. And then now you putting the sneakers and the boots in the race and saying, all right, now go. Nah. But let me say this about because you are raising a very good point. This don't mean that you don't do stuff to help your family. This don't mean that you don't do what you need to do to make your financials, stuff right. This don't mean that you don't start a business and do stuff for your community. This don't mean that. Like, don't get it twisted. This don't mean that you don't do everything in your power as a Black person to help yourself, help your family, help your community. That's not what we saying. Don't get it twisted. However, Harrison is absolutely right. The pick yourself by your bootstrap, but by your bootstraps talk is used against us. It's only us they tell that. It's only us they tell that because they know they got our stuff. They got our stuff. Right now, 1 out of every 4 white households is worth more than $1 million. So 1 out of every 4 white households you see got a net worth of more than $1 million. 1 out of every 4 white folks' homes right now, you can trace it back to the Homestead Act. 1 out of every 4 white people houses, you could take it back to the Homestead Act, meaning they got the free land. They got like 60 acres or 100 acres of free land just for being white. Also, right now, I've said this before, and this is true. This was true in 2016. It's true in 2019. We get the information for this from the federal government, like Federal Reserve Bank, because they do like a study of people's wealth every 3 years. So the last information we have was from 2.5 years ago. Right now, white folks who dropped out of high school have more wealth than black folks who graduated from college. White folks who dropped out of high school have more wealth than black folks who dropped out of college. Okay, fine, right? Bad, but let's go further. And again, this don't mean that you don't go to college. If that's your thing, go do it. I went to college. I'm not gonna tell nobody not to go to college. But hear what I'm saying. This is why pick yourself up by the bootstraps is BS. White folks who ain't picked themselves up by their bootstrap but even finished high school dropout white folks have more wealth than black folks who go to college, who have college degrees. White folks, this is gonna blow your mind, who are unemployed have more wealth than black folks who are working full time.
What the?
Okay.
Wow.
So again, don't mean that you don't get a job. Of course, you're gonna work. I work. White folks who don't own businesses are wealthier than black folks who own businesses. Doesn't mean you don't start a business. I own a business too. I run a business right now. Do that too. But to pick yourself by the bootstrap is BS. And how did they get that wealth? They didn't get that wealth by picking themselves by their bootstrap. They got that wealth because they have ours. Their wealth starts after slavery. And that's ours.
Straight up. And we need to be like unapologetic about all of this, Chris. And that's why I'm rocking with you, bro, because like I'm being funny and shit, but you gonna be a part of history, brother. Like we getting that check. People telling me that was a long time ago. How are the biggest thing people tell me, Chris, is how are they gonna do it? I mean, are they gonna give you a couple million up front and then give you a check? Figure it out.
Yeah, figure it out.
PPP money.
Do it. Just do it. Figure it out.
PPP money.
Right.
Didn't you figure out? And they scammed y'all and took billions from you. You figured that out. You was just
figure it out.
Ukraine like $30 billion.
40, $50 billion for Ukrainians.
You got the other money out of
APIs, Afghanistan.
Give me my damn Give me my damn check.
We got it's only us, and this is how you know they really don't want us to get no money. It's only when we start talking about our money, it's all these other things and rules coming out. Well, we don't know how to do it, or we don't, or what y'all gonna do with it. It's none of your business what we gonna do with it, or and here's what you're gonna hear too. We don't have the money, we can't afford it. Or and what you said is so long ago. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. Right, and this is for folks who the people probably know this, but right now, the family in Tulsa, Oklahoma, who was a part of the Tulsa massacre, there's 3 people still alive from that. There's a brother and a sister, twins, I think 108 years old, and there's one sister who's 101 years old. They're still fighting for their reparations right now. They were alive during the Tulsa massacre. Now, there's 100 of those. 100 plus of those Tulsa massacres. Our family in Tulsa are alive right now. They just won a court case 2 weeks ago. Won a court case 2 weeks ago where a judge said they could proceed with their case for reparations against the city of Tulsa. That's living survivors. So it's not and to be honest with you, it don't matter. The U.S. government was responsible for what happened to us. So the U.S. government is alive. The U.S. government is alive and well. So that's who owes us reparations. So that's where we're going.
Yep. And to keep it 1,000, a lot of the shit we built during slavery, railroads and things of this nature, still are very profitable today.
Oh yeah.
I seen a research, a couple railroads over the years, they still making billions for this country. A lot of the HBCUs, like a lot of the colleges, a lot of the monumental buildings at some of these colleges we built. The White
Banks.
House we built. We've actually, sometimes I think people think we be on like some catchphrase shit. When Black folks say we built America, we're actually serious, y'all.
Very serious. We're literal.
The structure of the country, most of it was built by people who look like you, and it was for free. So when people be like, because me and my wife were just talking about it, people be like, Black folks is lazy. I'm like, well, maybe in our DNA, we know I'm tired of working for y'all ass.
We already put in the work. We already put in the work, and we didn't get paid. And we some of the hardest working people on the planet. First of all, we some of the hardest working people.
Yes.
Now, and been some of the hardest working people. But you're absolutely right. We built railroads. We built banks. We built whole industries. Whole industries were built off of us. We built the insurance industry. We built the stock market. We built the banking industry. We built the railroad. We built the commodities industry. We built the textile industry. We built all of the industries that are built on top of those industries. In the 1800s, Black folks, just our bodies, were worth more than the entire commercial value of the railroads and the financial markets and the commodities markets combined. Just our bodies as people in the 1850s, just our bodies, and this is facts. Just our bodies had a bigger economic value on it than all of the railroads, all of the banking, all of the textile, all of the commodities combined. We literally built this country, literally.
Yeah. So what are you saying, y'all? This superpower, this big, powerful ass country everybody's scared of, everybody want to come to. When we were picking cotton, I think cotton was like more than half of the total GDP. Like the money made from cotton made everything go. That's why the entire country was able to flourish and go to these countries and kill people and do all this salacious
wars and
because of the money
exports
that we generated. So give me my damn check.
Yeah, we old. I mean, and they know we're old. Mm-hmm. They know, the U.S. government knows, the federal government knows, the state of California knows. The state of California had a hand in this. The people always say, well, why California didn't have slavery? Yes, we did. There was slavery here. I think we all know a brother named Jonathan Burgess of the Burgess brothers. His family comes from one of the first Black families to come to California. They came to California in 1849, before there was a California. They came to California enslaved, worked the gold mines right where we at right now, enslaved, then bought their families out of freedom. But then bought their freedom. So there was absolutely slavery. Let me see this question, right? Says, how long will it take to establish the wealth and start building our roots to gain new wealth? That's a fascinating question. Why? Because what we say is the reparations has to be multi-generational. So for the reparations that we want here in California, that we are telling the government that we want here in California, and also the federal government, it has to be a multi-generational thing. So it can't be just, and this is in my opinion, it can't be just me, Harrison, everybody that's watching, we get the checks and then we done. We want our kids to be able to get it. We want our kids' and our kids' for generation after generation. We could talk about how many generations. I'm happy to talk about that. We could definitely negotiate that. Maybe we could say until we have some sort of satisfaction. But the reparations has to be multi-generational. Right now, the wealth, the differences between the wealth of Black folks who built this country and white folks, that difference is growing. So if we just left it alone right now, the gap would never close. Some people say, well, you hear it take 228 years. That what people don't say about that is it would take 228 years if white folks stopped having wealth now. Like if white folks' wealth stopped. White folks' wealth is growing and ours is going down. So really, if we did nothing about it, if we don't give reparations, the gap will never close. So now the state of California. So there's two things to keep in mind here, because we're talking about two different levels. We're talking about a state reparations and a federal reparations. Those are two different things. And the goal and what you're trying to accomplish for each of those two different things could be different. So if you're trying to make Black folks have as much wealth as white folks or more, that could, right now we expect that to cost, at least for the state of California, to do that would cost almost $1 trillion for the state of California to make our wealth equal. Right now it's about $875 billion. It comes out to about $400,000 in wealth per person. First of all, there should be more. Okay, so 400,000 ish in wealth per eligible Black person in California, if the job is to make our wealth equal today. But as I said, the wealth levels are changing. Nobody's wealth is staying the same. Some people going up, some people going down. So it's going to take multiple generations, at least more than one. And how long it ultimately takes will be up to us and what the different forms of reparations are. But it's a really good question, because the answer really is up to us how we do it, and also making sure that it's multi-generational.
Yes, definitely. So the last thing that I want to touch on, good stuff, Chris. Good stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna say it on air. I'm proud of you, bro. Like,
thank you, bro. Thank you.
You're gonna be literally a part of the people who actually give. You're gonna give me my check, brother.
We on the way. So, thank you, bro. Really.
What can people who are not a part of your organization, all of us regular Black folks, what can we do to support this movement, to make sure it happens?
Yeah. So first thing you could do is make sure you visit the website for the organization that I work with, CJEC. It's CJECofficial.org, and make sure you get on. You go to that homepage and get on our email list. First thing to do, get on our email list, because we send out a newsletter every single month, sometimes twice a month, with all of the information about what's moving for reparations here in the state of California. So first thing you need to do is get on our email list. First thing, CJECofficial.org. First thing, is get connected to where the information is at, because that's the first thing. Second thing I would recommend is come to one of the reparations public hearings. You can come in person or you can come virtually. And you can find out when those are happening on our newsletter, on our website also. But come to an actual public hearing. Give public comment. There's public comment for every first hour of the reparations hearings. I'll share some more information on this part. So again, the commission has to do at least 10 public hearings. Each hearing is 2 days long. So each one hearing is 2 days long, 8 hours each day, right? I'm there for all of them. And we live stream all of them on YouTube also. So, so if you're looking for a way to get it from, you'll be able to see them on the website and also on YouTube also. But come to a public hearing, come to the next public hearing. The next one is going to be in LA in September. And also it's going to be virtual also. Come to a public hearing. Give public comment during the first hour of the hearing, because public comment is during the first hour of every single day of hearings. So come to the next public hearing in September. That's the second thing you can do. Third thing you can do, come to one of our community reparations listening sessions. We're having one in Oakland in May, which is this month, which is in a couple of days, on May 28th. We're going to be down in LA on June 10th. We're going to be back here in Sacramento. I just saw my bro saying, let's set something up for San Jose. Let's do it. We're going to be back in Sacramento. I think we're going to have a rally on the 12th here in Sacramento also. So I'll make sure I share info on that. The main point is show up. We need you to show up either in person or virtually, and tell the California Reparation Commission you want reparations. Tell them what you want in it. You want the money. You want this. You want that. And you want it for this long. That's the second most important thing you can do, is actually show up. And you can do that at a public hearing. Next public hearing is in September. And or you can do that at one of the community reparations listening sessions. Third thing you could do is, if you can't show up in person, can't show up virtually, we understand people got things going on. People, those are long meetings, there's 2 days worth of meetings, blah, blah, blah. Cool. You can actually talk to the Reparations Commission members in between meetings. There's an email, there's a phone number, you can call, and you can email the California Reparations Commission right now. There's also a website that you can go to and actually find out more information about the California Reparations Commission. Those are some things that you can do now. The big thing you need to do is pay attention. Pay attention and do me a favor. And I always say this: say the word reparations in your conversations when you're talking to somebody. This week, everybody here could do this week. If you haven't done it already, say the word reparations to somebody. So we got Memorial Day coming up. We made Memorial Day. The Black folks who built this country created the holiday called Memorial Day. We actually did it for our people because we fought in every single war. See, it's another thing they don't say. Black folks who built this country fought in every single war. Yep. We created what is now Memorial Day. It's a great opportunity to say, you know what? Happy Memorial Day, family. You at the cookout, whatever. Yo, we need our reparations. Say the word reparations this week. That's another thing you can do now.
Ain't that something? Because really, like, you gotta believe it. Like, you gotta, and sometimes about like being like a Black person who's unapologetic. Sometimes we get in rooms with people and we don't feel comfortable to kind of express what we need, and we gotta stop all that shit. It's way too late in the game.
It's too late in the game.
And as y'all can see, California is almost there, baby.
Yeah, so we're gonna be the first to do it.
Yeah, and everybody gonna follow because we're such a big state. I think after that happens, everybody else will follow.
Oh, yeah, and we are a huge state. We got, and so I was saying this earlier. We have $100 billion extra money. Mm-hmm. California has the 5th largest economy on the planet. I'll say that again. The state we sitting in, just our state, does more economics than all of the other countries in the world, except for 4 others. And one of those 4 is actually our country. California has the 5th largest economy on the planet. A lot of times California does things before other states do it, and a lot of times California does things before the federal government does it. So we're gonna be the first to do it, and it's gonna put a lot of pressure on the federal government to do reparations. Let me see the chat too. I think some Black people don't realize how much they deserve reparations. Our family should not have suffered this much over the years. Absolutely, Blue Girl. Absolutely. And it's look, I live like y'all live. We understand we going through a lot as a people. We got a lot of bad things happen. We just said, rest in peace to the family in Buffalo. We got things going on here in our own city right now, here in the Sacramento area, and if you're in the Bay Area, wherever you are in California, wherever you are in Black America, anywhere, we got bad things going on, things that we want to change. There's good things going on, and there's bad things. There's bad things going on. We know as a people that we have gone through a lot. One of the biggest things we see, or what we come up against, and you was just talking about this, Harrison, one of the biggest things we come up against when we go to our own people to talk about reparations is this discouragement. It ain't never gonna happen. They ain't never gonna give us nothing. They ain't never going. And it's understandable on a certain level. It's understandable because look what has been done to us. Look how long we've been here, and look what we still haven't got yet. It's understandable. But what's also going on is that we're going to get reparations. Okay. So I understand all that, and we still going to get reparations.
Yeah, you better prepare yourself. You know what I mean? And get on that boat. And brother Chris, I appreciate you coming on, brother. Like I said, we gonna make it a pact that you come on once a month and just highlight. If
Definitely.
people aren't reading the newsletters or staying in touch, I'm gonna use my platform to highlight everything you got going on, brother. And we gonna celebrate. God damn
Peace
it,
and love.
we gonna do a live when I get my check.
Yeah, we gonna show the checks. Like, yeah. Yeah, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. And definitely let's connect. My Instagram, if you want to connect with me, is at SacBlackBiz, at SacBlackBiz, at SacBlackBiz. Connect with me on IG. Also at CJEC official on Instagram. Same on Twitter. Same on YouTube, same on TikTok, same on Facebook also, and CJECofficial.org is the website. But if you want to connect with me on IG and you want to DM me and let's do a community meeting for reparations in your city. Let's do it. At SacBlackBiz.
Definitely. Well, I want to thank you, my brother Chris, for coming on and talking to the people. We have people listening, and this is a good thing, man. I'm proud of you, bro, and keep on pushing. I know before this was popular, I remember all the meetings and the meeting, you know what I mean? So you've been to the ground for a while, and I definitely appreciate you, brother. But this country definitely owes us, and everybody need to get on the same page. So everybody, this is my brother Chris Lodgson. If you're in California, he finna help get you a check, god damn it, because they owe us. You feel me? So this has been another episode of the Melanated special episode. This is the Where My Money At episode.
The big payback episode.
The big payback, huh? I should have played that song.
Yeah. Oh, yo, there's a question in the chat too. In Oakland, of OG Maz is on this Saturday, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the California Ballroom at 1736 Franklin Street, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. It's going to be live stream also. But if you can pull up, it's free, it's public. You don't have to register. Just pull up 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. We have a California Reparations listening session, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Again, California Ballroom.
Definitely. OG Mods, I appreciate you, bro, because this brother, we talk a lot, and he's very interactive. This is what we need, man. Everybody got to change their mentality when it comes to all the things we need and the things that we go through. Like I understand you being outraged when you see police brutality. I understand you being outraged when you see the mass shootings and all these things going on. But like I always say, what you gonna do? This is actually doing something. So if you don't like some of the things you see, you better go to one of them reparations meetings. You better plug in and just listen, just to peep the vibe, see how everything is going. You know what I mean? Because this is about all of us. This isn't a singular thing. This is about all of us. So I appreciate you, brother Chris, for coming on the show. This has been another episode of the Melanated Convo podcast. Please go subscribe to the page, the Melanated Convo. Like, share. I'm on all the digital platforms as well. This is your brother Harrison, the brother Chris Lodgson. We out.